Addiction thinks in circles, whereas invention thinks in spirals.
Yes. Yes,
And
yes,
I
yes.
love it. And spiral is not one dot, it's actually one seed becoming bigger and bigger and bigger
Mhm.
and bigger and bigger and bigger.
So I'm grateful for that. And then two, just the pain just reminding me like this body is so amazing.
Where else can you go
Hmm.
other than inside? And
Hmm.
when you're so almost like forced to face yourself, you find lots of love. You have what?
I said I have two arms.
I have two dogs.
Yeah.
And one is going through all my cables. So,
Uh,
shall there be an incident and I fall and I crumble? Just know. So, I have to kind
okay.
of,
All right.
hi,
Hi, good morning.
how's it going?
Good. How are you feeling today? Agitated?
51. No, actually, well, a little bit. Interesting. How about you?
Yeah, a little bit too.
Is it the week or, of course, I almost feel like,
'Cause
are we living per book?
I know.
So wild.
Yeah.
Picky.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, buddy. So,
Yeah,
what's
this one
cooking?
was this one was I didn't have much resonating here when I was reading The Shadow.
Mm.
And then The City I really liked. But then as I'm reading it, I was just like just try to feeling the energy instead of comprehending the words and putting it pieces together. And I was like, this energy is too familiar. I'm like, I think if I had to guess that this is Aries.
And is it?
It is, yeah.
Wow. Good guess, mister.
Yeah, I'm starting to pick up the flavor a little bit.
Wow.
So yeah, the last gene key in the Ring of Humanity, and we'll talk about that in The City. But the shadow kind of being about agitation and a dog eat dog competition, gotta win. Um, I didn't feel personally like that I related to it, other than seeing this in the development of my children. Of most children will go through this like period of self awareness, and then okay, that's mine, and I'm gonna win every game, and I'm so competitive. Luca is so competitive. We are playing a game last night, and he got so mad because I was going faster than him. So I said, "Okay, buddy." So there's like a card, and then you have 5 blocks, and you have to arrange the blocks to match the card. And I was like, "I'm gonna do my own." So I grabbed a new card, and he was doing his own card. And I was like, "This one's tricky." I'm like talking through it, and I was like, "Ah, got it." And he throws his block, and he starts bawling, and he's so mad. I'm like, "You're doing your own. I'm not even playing that one." But he's Aries Moon, and he is like so passionate about winning whatever he's doing.
Doing
Um,
it, going first, getting there
yeah,
first.
yeah, I gotta be first. Otherwise, there's no point in playing, and he'll destroy the game for everybody. So
Mm.
we're working through that. It's just a stage of evolution in his age, but yeah, it's nice to have it reflected because if I'm honest with myself, I'm like, yeah, you know, it's like I've navigated around it and call it maturity, but really there's an underlying sense of, well, of course I want to win, and I think we all have that. I think we can relate when we look deep enough. It's like we just play different. We change the games, right? So we change the games. So when we're young, it's like I want to win the game of what's right in front of me, this card game or this puzzle. And then we get a little bit older, and then we want to win the game of having people like us. And usually that kind of persists for a period of time. And
Mm.
then there's the spiritual game, and there's the money game. Then there's, yeah, being liked, of course. Yeah.
Mm.
How did this one go for you?
And just to add to that, a really good intro, to add to that, I think what he also pointed out is that at the point where if unless you win or you get there first over others, this is where the shadow kind of shows up a lot when you want to do it no matter what
Mm-hmm.
you do to others. So it's almost like, to me, it reminded me on so much ignorance, almost like you actually have no idea how others feel about what you're doing. There's no sense of others at all whatsoever. So this like competitiveness comes very initiated inside, and you're competing for any cost. And I've seen this in a corporate world a lot, especially
Mm-hmm.
back, and I say this now, it sounds like back in the day, which is only a few years ago. It does sound like a long time ago because everything is rapidly changing. So I feel, and oh, I worked with people that would step on you, no problem. They will put you under the bus with a full intention for their win only.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that game, I was always surprised by how cold they did that. And looking into your eyes with
Mm-hmm.
no blink, it's almost like there's no heart in it at all whatsoever. And you're winning the title, you're winning to prove yourself, you're winning to prove your value to someone else, and you're totally cutting everybody else around you, and you're putting them under the bus with no shame whatsoever. And I've been debating and been contemplating about the shame this week a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And as hard and harsh of a feeling and sense that is, there's a difference between thinking and feeling that emotion, right? So if I'm thinking my emotions, I'm almost like not, and I'm not activating anything inside. If I'm not feeling it inside my body, it's the thought that I am become prey to. But if I'm
Mm-hmm.
feeling it, then there's a deeper meaning into how do I feel shame? And then it spins around upside down that the shame is also a healthy emotion because it makes us humble. And when we feel what we do affects others, there is a certain healthy dose of being ashamed of what you just did and living with it and then approaching it as, oh my God, this also came out of me. Now I have to almost crumble down on my knees and be so humble with myself to accept that I too have this part of me that just caused suffering to other people, the other around us. But this shadow to me was so much oriented into self-centeredness without even seeing the difference or the like to like with other people. And I
Mm-hmm.
always wonder, how can you sleep with it? I always had this sentence like, how do you go to bed with your own self? And how is it possible to have a calm, peaceful sleep when you know you cause suffering to others? To me, this just does not compute. I cannot understand that part,
Mm-hmm.
of competitiveness and self-centeredness. It's very hard for me to understand that. That's
Yeah.
why I don't understand Aries for a lot of things, because I'm mainly Pisces. And it's almost like I don't have anything in Aries or fire or right. So I cannot, we're so far away from one another that I cannot,
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost like surprised, shocked that this is possible on Earth. That you don't
Yeah. Yeah.
see that I too am human, kind of exactly like you, built like you. The only difference is what you have in your mind and what I have in my mind, and where is your heart activated or not. So it's really strange to me. The Aries energy has always been.
Yeah, and I mentally highlighted this part, which kind of points to exactly what you're talking about. There is a terrific amount of energy within the agitated state of the 51st shadow. It's like we think of Aries energy, we think of like initiation and so much fire behind it, right?
Hmm.
Without a sense of inner purpose or direction, this can be a dangerous gene key. Agitation never leaves you alone, but continually prompts you to do something in order to get some kind of reaction. It
Hmm.
will do anything, to release its restless electrical energy. This can lead to all kinds of reckless and foolish acts done simply for the sake of releasing the agitation. And he talks about how it can manifest, it can like trick the body into fearlessness
Mm.
just in order to get the energy out. It's like, yeah.
And it's such a good energy, so much potency in it.
Mm-hmm.
And have you, because your Aries rising,
Mm-hmm.
usually when you have big threes that are alike, you get along very well. So have you met an Aries who is activated in a shadow?
Ooh.
Like, or maybe operating majority of the time in the shadow, or a gift, heart, mind, logic.
Mm. I have to go back to like historically speaking, my life. I'm sure I have. I think it's tricky because I think with Pisces Sun, I don't I don't have a lot of patience for the shadow energy of Aries.
Mm.
So, and maybe seeing it in myself too, like there's a little bit of rejection. But I know that, yeah, I'm trying to think. Uh, Maybe what I can say is like there's been times in sports growing up where there's clearly someone who's like, I'm gonna dominate, I'm gonna win, and I don't even really care about my teammates. I'm just gonna, like in basketball or football or something. And it was almost like I understood them more than most, but I still had a hard time. Like I felt the furthest away emotionally from maybe where they were. But I'm like, I could see how you got there. Like it's not hard for me to go into that mindset and be there. It's almost like, and I always talk about this, journaling, as I was trying to figure out my early 20s, is I found a roundabout way to manifest that energy, to release it. And so I just I made the game more complex.
Mm.
And part of the game was like, how complex can I make the game? It's just like, yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I Yeah, this shadow somehow is so, like, almost in a too extreme between the shadow and the gift. You're either
Hmm.
so bad and so, like, hostile or closed off, or you are so much into your heart that this now becomes service for others, right? So this is, I think, the first gift that to me seemed to be so far away from shadow and in extreme oppositions. So you're either this
Hmm.
or that.
Yeah.
And the differentiation is, what are you led by? Are you
Hmm.
led by your totally head, because Aries is very heady, right? It rules the head. It goes everywhere with the head.
Hmm.
And I don't know, have you ever seen a ram getting lost and not knowing where it's going? Did I tell you the story in
No,
Las Vegas when I lived in Las Vegas?
no.
And just quick, me and my partner were coming back from dinner or somewhere from night, and cops everywhere in the neighborhood trying to get the ram ran out of the zoo or some wild whatever place and ended up in our neighborhood. Oh my God, Eric. It doesn't know where it's going. It's hitting everything. The cars, the trash cans, the bricks, the tree trunks. It was just like bam, bam, and stops. And then it goes, what next to hit? Bam,
Just,
bam, it
yeah,
stops.
locks on and then
Yeah.
tacks it.
And the cops were just opening, and they're like literally opening the hands to become bigger than them. And they're trying to get the ram to just calm down and grab it for the head, literally to hold
Hmm.
it, because it controls its entire body. And it's dangerous, and it runs towards the target.
Hmm.
It's not even, it's only three, two, one, bam, bam, bam. It's all over the place. It's quite scary because it's uncontrollable, and you
Yeah.
can't, it's unpredictable, it's uncontrollable, but it's very ruled by the head. And I met a person who was in young 20s. I think this is where the first house is very much I am, and it's led by, well, the identification with your logical mind and everything that you now kind of start collecting that you represent.
Hmm.
And it was very hard to be, there's no potentially collaborating whatsoever. There's no openness to get the new. It was, I'm gonna Google what this is. This is it. Boom. Full stop.
Hmm.
No, no mutability, no adaptive, no potentially changing the ways. It's just that it. Boom. So I call them quick cancels. They cancel very fast. They don't like it.
Hmm.
They're like boom, 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 boom. But the 20s are also very emotionally unstable years too, to kind of figure that part out exactly. So that's why it starts from there. You kind of have to first figure out who you are, you think you are, and then go through the discovery of, oh, this is what I think I am. This is what I thought the values were.
Hmm.
And by the time you hit the Pisces, you just let go of all of that. So that's why
Yeah.
it's like it's so hard to understand the self-centeredness.
Yeah.
Really hard, really hard. But it can be hostile and it can go wrong way. And I think we live in a world where unless we understand it, and education is not really supporting any type of explanations when it comes to emotions, of processing, of inner depths. It's very heady, it's very logical. So we really have to go through the hell to learn it almost like a hard way in
Hmm.
life. And this is where it breaks my heart, because I find this exact education or understanding, if you only understood and you pulled out yourself from this like zoomed in centeredness of world is spinning around me, everybody's looking at me, there would be a different way of approaching and feeling everything if you had a little bit of wider understanding of what is happening biologically, physiologically, chemically, what is ruling what. So, but we're not really given this. We're literally
No.
tossed to figure it out on our own in life.
Well, actually, my opinion is that we're stripped of it intentionally.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Different perspective, different understanding.
Hmm.
And then
When
I wonder,
I,
did it have to be that way? Oh, okay.
yeah,
Agitated.
when when I worked at a gym, I was kind of like the head of operations, but we did some coaching too. And it was for junior high, high school athletes, a little bit of middle school. And they would come in and I didn't have younger brothers or sisters, and I hated school. And most of my friends, we kind of like we've had the same vibe, right? So we were like outcasts and didn't like the schooling system, wanted to change it. One of my best friends is a Sagittarius, so very high-minded in that regard. And would meet these kids, and I'm like, tell me about yourself, anything. And it's just like, oh, I'm studying to be this, or I'm planning to go to this college. And I'm like, what about you though? Like anything. Like, oh, I play this sport. It's just like they they lost their sense of, I don't know, it's like you said, the emotional processing, understanding the emotions and understanding that who they are is more than what's on a resume. But like that's what, to me, that's what school is doing, is stripping it all down to say like, who are you on this 11 by 9 piece of paper or whatever, you know? So it's sad. And I remember saying to some of the kids, because I have strong opinions on this topic, they would come into the office and they would be like, how, I don't know how I'm going to pay for school with, with college. And like, what do I even want to be? Like they're listing all the reasons not to go to college. And I go, have you considered not going to college? Like that's actually a very good option. It might actually be a better option. And they would literally just like, just think I'm making a joke, like I'm talking crazy, and then walk out of the room and not engage in that conversation at all. It's like they're trained not to explore. Like you can't go down that path. Only times you really get that is like in maybe English literature when you're reading a book and it's like,
Hmm.
What was the, yeah, what had happened with Odysseus here, or what happened with Hamlet or Shakespeare, And
Yes.
that's like in context. Okay, we can explore here, or you're still trying to find the right answer. And I think that's, to me, that's the training that that Carly and I are trying to avoid with our kids, is it's not always about right answer. I mean, there's certain contexts, like with math, where there is a correct outcome, but also like you're not trained to only find one way to it. Like you can navigate your own way. Yeah.
So many things to say about this. Um, and yet you're tossed in the system that requires some level of education if you want to survive.
Obedience.
Uh-huh. And it has been like that in the patriarchy since the patriarchy came to existence, rather than actually taking care of, deeper needs. But then you mentioned there's this whole other world of imagination that is only allowed through the art and literature.
Hmm.
So you are then free to enter into this invisible, irrational world of wonders and explore yourself and become a different character.
Hmm.
And then see what else is out there through this imaginatory, invisible, cloudy, Lulu La La Land. It makes me so mad that only then we feel free to enter because it's approved by environment we live in. And I hope this changes. And I can see it actually changing. Today I have an interview with a friend of mine who wrote a book, calls herself an author. You don't have to go to journaling school anymore. And the other
Hmm.
day, another friend I just purchased her book of poems that she wrote for the first time ever. And it was beautiful. It's her own self-discovery and growing up earlier prematurely. So it's changing. Something is changing.
Hmm.
And I love how he then jumps into explaining what the awakening is and how we think I'm healed, I'm awake, and how there's no rule for this. And I freaking love it. You know why?
I
Because
loved
there's
it too.
no order. It's a law of
Hmm.
randomness. We're all participating. It's not even a gamble. It's not even a lottery. It's actually it happens. Everybody has the equal chance and potential for it to happen. So in the meantime, what invited me to do is just have fun in the meantime.
Yeah.
Have fun suffering a little bit, meaning
Yeah.
have fun being like irked, you know?
Mm.
Find it. So this morning I woke up irked. And then I was like, oh, let me feel it. Let me feel. How does it feel to have these sensations and feelings? Really, is it my head or is it in my body? And if it's in my body, what is it? Let me get curious about it until it's there. Because very easily it might not be,
Hmm.
whether you're
What did you
considered good or bad.
What did you find?
So, okay. The moment I want to come close to it, and this one was a little layer. It's a sheath. What?
Go ahead. I can
Tell me.
sense. Wait, is it just like running away, like finding a new spot, moving around?
This one was a sheath as like a
Mm.
shield around me. And then I wondered, I was like, but why is it here? And then I started asking. The book that I'm reading about Chiron effect, about my friend who I'm going to interview today, she asked so many good questions. Her book is filled with questions that you actually have to sit and do something about and contemplate. But where is this coming from? So the more I ask the questions, the more curious I become, the faster it disappears. It's phenomenal how it works the moment you want to come and tap it, as if, like the as if going through, if you there's this really cool book about Neptune. I'll be doing the book club in February about Neptune because we're exiting the Neptune from Pisces then. And he explains it as a window. And you have to have such a clean window
Mm.
that you almost don't even know it's there. But there is a window. And the fact of the matter is there's a window from inside and there's a window from outside. These are two different functions that it has. So it's almost like the closer you get to it, you don't see it. And yet it
Hmm.
disappears, but you're so clearly seeing through it because there's no more delusion, there's no more muddiness on it. So that's how I felt. I was like, oh, but let me see what it is. I was so almost like there was a little excitement. This is where you turn your pain into kink. So they say it's like almost excitement to come closer to it, to see what are you trying to tell me? Tell me. Tell me, tell me, tell me. I want to know. I want to get to know you. And he puffed away.
Mm.
So when these things come, I want to meet them, greet them. I want to learn about them. I want to write about them. I want to sing about them. I want to put them in a form. And no matter
Touch them.
what, touch them. Yeah. I want them to touch me. No matter what form they come, they're very almost like a prince in the body, which comes and stems from deep down, whatever genetic imprint that we have. But yeah, rather than
Mm.
reacting to it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, it's a unique approach to anything, and I think to me this would be like the new school. Like if I could do school for my kids or for adults, for any of us, it's just like approach each thing with curiosity
Mm.
and with play too. Play is the key word, like you mentioned. Um, how in awakening, it's not even like he says, like it seems like a leap. It's sudden and it's unexpected and it changes everything. But it's not even us leaping. It's more like we're pulled into the leap. And the more I was reading The City, the more I'm like, okay, finally I can fucking let go of all of this like structure, pseudo structure of like how conscious are you? You're moving up, you're becoming more aware, even understanding the self. Like there's this there's just illusions that happen along the way that we think we're progressing towards something, or we think we're regressing. Either way, it's all moot when you compare it to this spontaneous happening that will occur. And yeah, it was really freeing. By the way, the football team in LA is the Los Angeles Rams.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, LA is in many ways very rammy, wants to be the first in everything. It's the energy. I think the energy is very competitive too here. Very, like,
Yep.
you know, the amount of houses and businesses that are going in and out really fast.
Yeah.
It's like
Hmm.
unless you're the best, the better than the best, then you're not going to survive. It's very survival of the
Hmm.
fittest.
It's interesting. A lot of businesses struggle here, like a lot of restaurants and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, but I think for a different reason. I think it's because there's an expectation of how things will operate, but it's so much slower. It's so slow. It's crazy slow.
Uh,
And I think
that's why you love it.
that's why I love it. And I think it throws people off. It's unexpected. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. LA. Yeah.
It's very shocking to the system. And now we sidetrack of it, but you either like it, if you go to Sedona, which is very vortexy too, it literally either sucks you in or it
Or
spits
pushes
you
you
out.
out. Yeah.
Literally, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people that come as couple separate a lot, or
Mm-hmm.
that come as single unite. It's a story. It's a typical story for Sedona. You are either there, and once you're there, vortex just pulls you in. This gravity just pulls you in to stay here. And I think LA has this exact chaotic energy of so many things happening. So it's a shock for a lot of energetic fields. Then once you're very much, you have to almost like gain that immediate flux of a lot of power, a lot of energy to
Mm-hmm.
use. And to, a lot of people here say silence is very rare. You
Mm-hmm.
almost cannot slow down. So they have to leave the LA and go to the forest, go to mountains and slow down. And then yet you have the surroundings of many different elements doing at the same time. You can surf today and go at night and snowboard, right? So it's like, it's so fast, but you have to be so intentional in order to slow down and shut up because there's so much noise and ground in such an elevated energy. Compared to Hawaii, it's like, what, 45 miles is the top speed that you can drive there. So it's very intentionally slow into your bones. So I get why you don't want to come. I totally understand. Not that you don't want to. It's almost like, no, it's not calling you. And you should honor that 100%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Totally.
I think in the right time, just for some reason, when we
Totally
were
listen
planning the
to that.
trip, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
uh, but I do want to see you for sure.
I'll be over next year. I need some
Yeah.
vacation, a good vacation. But yeah. And I think and just to come back to this, like this agitation comes with also not understanding oneself and emotions and how they steer and how you react to them. It's almost like you identify with it. So Aries identifies the whole being with what it thinks it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's ruled by the head. And unless there's an intentional practice. So imagine that much power. Imagine that much power in this little tiny little school. A lot of energy that needs to release. And so when there's this chart, I don't know if I sent you it's almost like a scale of how fast Aries reacts and how long it takes them to, did I I sent this to you within a minute. You're talking
Maybe. Sounds
minutes.
familiar. Yeah.
And it almost like spikes to the highest highs and peak and the boom explodes. And then it drops down 5 minutes later, like nothing happens. It just needs this release of energy. And then
Hmm.
Taurus, for example, takes months, sits. It literally marinates on it, it thinks, it contemplates, and etc. But why I
Yeah.
say this, because unless we know or we have or we are aware of the creative outlets, this energy can very much be self-destructive and destructive for the environment. So I love how he places the gift as the same energy of destruction or almost like hostility can be actually moved to such a creative force if we knew how to bridge the gap between the two. Where's the bridge on how to use this energy into the creative part? And then your energy becomes a creation rather than, destruction. You create, you build rather than destroy or
Hmm.
be hostile to. So I love this gift. And I think it's very important we find the outlets that are functional and also healthy that maintain the well-being inside and maintain this energetic flows that are coming through us and to figure out. And the question is how? What is it? What is it? Right?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. The trick the trick with Aries is like if you think about the ram, how it's like it's not gonna just hit the tree over and over. It's gonna hit the tree and then get disoriented and then oh, I see a trash can and then go after that. So there's almost this like I mean, just from having conversations with me, like, oh, I'm gonna do film and I'm gonna get the camera and I'm gonna do all this stuff, take pictures, do all this stuff. And then all of a sudden I'm reading all the astrology books. And then I'm like, yeah, I didn't do astrology books. Take a break from that. Now I'm doing something else. So it's just like this. There also has to be this openness with the the medium is always shifting. The medium, like the energy just pops in random directions, and it's important to be able to follow that freely. And like we opened today with shame, like there's a little bit of expectation that you can bring on yourself or the shame that you can have of like, why can't you just stick with one thing? It's like, well, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know why, but it's not important to understand the why. It's just important to touch the energy and to explore and play with it. And I think that's something that's new. And I think we'll see more of that in 2026 too, is just the ability for people to shift directions instead of feeling like they're locked in and they have to continue something until they burn out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, let's play.
And let's change. It's very normal to change. Imagine painting one paint for the rest of for all your life.
Hmm.
What kind of artist are you? What kind of a creator? We create. We're meant to create. We have so many tools inside in order to create and change and adapt. And, you look at our body, simple example. Nowadays, we get sick. Speaking of my recent sickness, and it was not the same like last time. It was something new happened when it changed my whole body and how I react to it.
Mm.
So rather than, I had like a really different reaction to my physiology reacted to it differently. So I had to adapt. Something in my body adapted, my whole being adapted, my immunity, my cells, my blood cells, everything adapted to whatever that came to me. Otherwise, if I stayed the same, I would probably not survive it. So I had to adapt. We have to be okay with trying new things. And, that works with the same. It's like, why would I do something if my heart is not in it, if I'm not fully in it? You will find what you love doing, but you have to try almost everything, and majority of it might not be what you would stick with in a long run. Like
Hmm.
this is a perfect example. I found my outlet through exchange and stimulating my gift. This is stimulating my gift in many ways. So I
Mm.
continue because it works. And then we add
Mhm.
another thing, and then we add another thing. And I find myself now, okay, maybe it's just a season of life, but I find myself absorbing so much for whatever reason. I'm capable of absorbing more and more and more. I go to bed with the book, I wake up with the book. It's like, yeah, it's a little crazy, but who says I'm not, who says
What's the right
what's the
path
right
or
way?
yeah.
Yeah, so almost like you free yourself from she said, he said, and
Hmm.
you just do you and you discover you. So I always support versatility, no matter what. Don't stick with one thing because
Yeah.
you'll only grow that much. And this applies to everything, no matter what people like to say of, when it comes to
Yeah. Yeah. You and I with 55 preaching about being free. Um, yeah, it's it's good because you think of the alternative. I love how Gene Keys paints the picture of freedom. It's like you're either free or you are a victim of something. You're a victim of your own ideas, you're a victim of other people's expectations, or you're a victim of circumstance. You're a victim of the inability to do something. And yeah, I think,
Mm.
this is the big activator. Next year, I think we're going to see more and more freedom. I ref- it's reminding me of this YouTuber who he's a musician and maybe a composer too. He's got a big music studio and he interviews musical guests and he'll just get on and talk about a song or he's been like talking about AI music and how
Mhm.
it's like not the right direction. It's going the other way. And he said one time he did a video about why so many YouTubers were quitting. I think this was like early 2025.
Mm.
And he said, one thing I've noticed for myself is I don't have an agenda in terms of I don't have a filming day. I don't have a topic that I have to follow. I don't have a structure. I didn't create pillars. He's like, I just, when I feel inspired to make a video, I make a video. And he's like, he's been doing this for years. And till this day, he only makes a video when he's inspired. He doesn't lose energy in that process. He's maintaining his energy. He's actually feeling like culmination, like it's growing with him. He's growing with it. Whereas other people, they become so structured in how it is, their audience expects a certain thing, a certain performance, or we start to play with the algorithm, right? Because you try so hard for years to like make it big, and then you do this one video and it 10x's, right? And you're like, okay, I got to keep making those kinds of videos. And then a year passes and they're like, this isn't what I wanted to do. Like, of course, the money's
Yeah.
good, the attention's good, but now I'm now I'm I a clown with makeup on. It becomes something I
Mm.
didn't want to be. It's just very interesting.
Yeah. And a lot of these, the new generations who is born in information age, Gen Zs or whatever, Gen
Mhm.
X, they're memes. And it's like they become, when they come, and this is happening in the corporate, they're like, but I don't feel, literally, they say, I don't feel inspired to do what you tell me to do. And they're dead serious about it. And the other manager, a boomer, comes in and says, what do you mean you don't feel inspired? And there's this clash between such a different approaches of life. And they're laughed at. And to me, it's like you're laughing at something that you desperately want to, and you don't know how to get to because totally different programming, because you were born into one structure. And oh, it saddens me how much they're laughed at and they're thought of as the generation that doesn't really know anything.
Hmm.
And then the irony, what I find is that they actually know way more
Yeah.
because they follow themselves more than they follow anybody else. So there is a clear crack in
Yeah.
between these two different ways, and I love it when I see them. I'm like, yes, you have a different approach to everything. That approach comes from maybe you're almost like we can think that you may be dissociated completely from what, but you're bringing something, and it's in a
Hmm.
mass. You're talking. This generation just came in, yes, instant gratification and likes and things that are different, but when it comes to art and figuring out how not to follow, to me, they're already operating at the gift level with no
Hmm.
shadow, right? They're not buying the cycling of fears and I have to obey to you. Oh, you're going to give me a bad performance for you. It's like, bitch, no, it doesn't. Yeah, no, it doesn't apply. I'm not motivated.
Yeah.
And I love
Right.
that. I love that. So this will disrupt a lot because this is a new generation coming into the workforce that does not want to obey. And then what
Mm-hmm.
are you going to do? True, you can replace it with AI, but really, there's new law that came in California, I think, effective January 1st, and it says if the product of something is delivered to your doorstep within 24 hours, which right now you can order within 4 hours delivery, you don't have to go anywhere. It's like very much.
So crazy.
If the product is not what you wanted, now you can go and complain. And of course, a bunch of products are coming from China. So by the time it hits China, they're sleeping already. But whoever is transferring this through, you as the customer, by law, can receive the refund. The company has to pay this back to you, and you company is mandated by law to you can talk to the real person. The difference is like we're so detached
Mm.
that now you have to push it as a law to talk to the real person. Because all the way up to now, you talk to the AI computer that answer this, IVR, whatever invoice, press buttons and getting yelled at. It's like, speak to a representative, speak to, I've done it many times. I want a human person. So now it's a law that you can actually talk to finally if you have a complaint to somebody who is a human. So I think humanness is coming full force back. And I love it. And I love it.
Well, we're gonna have to find a way to navigate because Aquarius is real and we're just starting. It's only gonna get more technological. So we have to find a way to have harmony.
Okay, okay.
Um, yeah.
You're gonna love this, and I'm gonna tell you something very important. Neptune, and this is what I didn't know, and I astronomically, actually astrologically, just found out as I was reading Neptune. Neptune is that many times bigger gas planet of than Earth, and Pluto lives behind and further away, and it's tiny.
Hmm.
Pluto is one of many little mini considered comets or whatever planets or asteroids that is 0.01% of the Earth mass. It's so tiny and insignificant, but it lives beyond Neptune, meaning you have to pass through the Neptune. And Neptune is this diluted creativity. Actually, out of Neptune comes all creativity of art, all of it. So much so that you live at the edge between crazy and genius. This is Neptune. And it's heavily and 100% the only planet, this is astronomy, that influences Pluto. So Pluto cannot be Pluto without influence of Neptune. So to me, this means if you know how to do your Neptune, you will know how to do your Pluto. If you know what creative force inside of you lives in and out of which part you're operating, your Pluto automatically comes conjunct together. Literally, it influences the way you psychologically consider your wounds. So your Pluto in Aquarius cannot do much without Neptune coming into its own form of, between genius and crazy.
Hmm.
So I love that. So yeah, Pluto has no influence without the Neptune. Neptune has to be actually the planet, which is one of our rulers.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
So you can be
And we're doing,
technologically advanced if everything is coming from a logical mind and not on your own creative, authentic, unique parts of your creative. It won't do.
hmm. So we're gonna be Neptune and Aries pretty soon. How do you feel?
I can't wait. Oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait.
You and I talked about it briefly about this season that we've had to go through.
Oh, I
And
had went through hell. How about
yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And you asked me about it and I was like, yeah, yeah, it was pretty horrible, like in a lot of ways. And not to say like not that I felt like a victim the whole time, but there were definitely moments of like, why is this happening to me? But we shared that in the chat, and then I was like, yeah, right, it's behind us. And then I had a week of it just like, we're not done yet. It was like spinning me around at the bottom. Oh,
Mm, good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff to surrender to let it clean, cleanse. Because next time it comes back is 164 years. So this is the last chance to, and it literally, and you know what's interesting is that Neptune and Pluto, and I'm just going to talk about this too, because I love to share. It's good stuff. It takes Pluto 264 years to circle the sun. It takes Neptune 174, 64, something like that. But what Pluto does, it enters, there's this like 80 years of cycle, literally, that it enters Neptune's orb. So
hmm.
Pluto comes into the Neptune's orb together, and they almost like play, they're literally having the same
Playing,
exact
yeah,
impact to the
yeah,
entire
because
galaxy.
Pluto, most of the planets are elliptical plane, and then Pluto comes around on top,
Yes,
and
and
then it
watch
meets with
this,
Neptune. Yeah.
how fun that we have been born into this exact conjunction right now where Pluto is heavily impacted in the Neptune's orbit. It's not separated, it's literally one and the same. You and I and this generation has been born. The time this has been happening for our parents and grandparents, by the way. So you're talking three generations. The time when these two will actually exit each other's influence is 2030.
Hmm.
Coincidence? 2030
Hmm.
will be when these two planets will actually not be one and the same. It will be a clear distinction. So you and I and our generations and our parents do not know what it means creative delusion, psychology. So you're talking spirituality and psychology coming and blending as one. This happens hundreds and hundreds of years. And it happens to be the generation that we were born, where psychology and spirituality blend into one. One without the other cannot. And then they separate in 2030. And then you have a concept of spirituality and then your concept of psychology, which not now separates as two different entities. And now you have understanding of both that cannot live without one another because they impact one another. Massive.
Hmm.
That is
Hmm.
happening in 3 years, 4 years.
Hmm.
So huge, huge deal. 2027, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way up to 2030. And everything is happening around that time. So
Yeah.
exciting. So exciting
Yeah.
for creative. Because you know why? You're endlessly abundant in creating anything that you want if you really lean into that trust. And he touches it here to say, trust that you
Hmm.
don't know. There.
Hmm.
Mhm. Ouch.
Oh.
Okay. How about this? The collective way is the way of security, gift. But the way of the individual is mysterious and fraught with uncertainty. As we shall see, it is also the only path to true awakening. It is not possible for a human being to awaken without first stepping fully into their creative independence.
Hmm.
Bam.
Hmm. Yeah, so we almost have to, well, we don't have to do anything, but
I love it.
it's the
You're like,
trap. Yeah. Um, yeah, there's not much to say on that. It's like, okay, you, the ones who let go fully can play fully. Yeah, but it's like, I guess we're not yet talking about awakening, right? In the city.
no, we're talking about initiation.
Initiative. Yeah. It's just like initiating our, yeah, it's weird because it's like talking about our differences, our individuality. Um, there's no other way than this towards true genius. This is a path through fear, and the fear cannot be sidestepped. The specific context in which the fear arises is the perfect and deepest fear for that person.
So good.
Yeah, whatever your deepest fear is, you will meet it here in the 51st gift, and you will transcend it. Wow.
Hmm. And you mentioned Pluto in Aquarius as a technological. Sure. But that's not the only thing. I think Aquarius is so smart. It is genius. Aquarians are so smart.
Mm-hmm.
But what their purpose in this life, in this round, is to find individuation,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
which means is to individuate themselves from all the rules. That's why they're a rule breaker. And to find, that's why they're very unique. That's why they don't copy. You can't find the same story across Aquariuses. They have this like innate need to individuate per their own truth. And this is what they bring to us, right? So this is the innovation. And to do that in this gift, you have to initiate something. You almost have to, when you exit the repressive and cowardly and hostile stage of the repressive nature of the shadow, you almost jump to try. You take the
Mm-hmm.
chance. And even
Mm-hmm.
if it fails, you take it and you take it and you initiate this energy to try to create something. And when we, I think we need more meat to define or to almost expand on what is the creative, what is the creation. And it's not just art and painting and what we know of. It can be anything. It can be it can be day-to-day routine. It can be the way you cook. It's like almost like initiating your
Yeah, yeah.
presence, initiating being present. Yeah.
Oh, I
Go ahead.
like that a lot. Yeah. Yeah, Richard said this in a recent talk. He's like, um, I forget the exact context, so bear with me, but he was just talking about how many thought leaders are expecting like that our lives will get easier, that robots will be in our homes, that we won't have to do as much. Our activities will be fully creative, social, more higher, and like in the lower activities are removed. And he was like, I am getting the message or feeling that what actually is going to be coming for humanity is a deepening of our presence, and it's through the most mundane activities of like washing the dishes, sweeping the floor. And
Mm.
at the time I was like, when I was listening to it, I was actually cleaning the house, and I was feeling overwhelmed because I feel like we constantly are cleaning or doing dishes or cooking food. Um, and that's its own story. And I just had to laugh because I'm like, of course, I'm not getting like a ticket out of my hell and into paradise, whatever that means. This is actually, and it was like I kind of laughed because I'm like, well, of course, I do find enjoyment in some of these activities. It's just this feeling of like how it never ends, right? It's like the dirt
Mm.
always accumulates on the floor. It's not like I come into the kitchen after being with the kids or playing or doing whatever, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's spotless. This is great. Like what? It doesn't
Yeah.
happen. It's like the entropy of things, and we find our peace and presence, like you said. And I have presence as my sphere of purpose, at the bottom of my chart,
Mm.
and it is about slowing down. It's about staying with the thing that you're in and not being distracted all the time and not trying to do 10 things at once. It's just like what is here, what is right now, what is in front of us. And I think too that's how we learn to reconnect. I think that's also the Aquarian thing is like reconnect in the age of things moving so fast. It's like we find stillness and presence and slowing down. And also too, I do want to like I hear it makes sense how you're saying it's Pluto's just one planet. It's not like ruling everything. Um but also too like we have the precessional movement of the earth or the poles shifting and that we're in this 2500 year period of Aquarius where we just moved out of Pisces. It goes backwards. So it's like it's kind of we had that in 2018 I think and then or 2012 and then we also have Pluto in Aquarius. So it is kind of like a doubling that's happening.
It's all happening now.
Yeah.
It's all at once. It's this fine crescendo. So no
Yeah.
wonder why we're all freaked out.
And all the prophecies point to this date. The Hopi, the Mayan, ancient civilizations. Yeah. They know.
So you see, exit and think. You came here to sit and watch it all unfold, or you came here to do some work. This is where another
Yeah.
level of obligation comes in. It's like you didn't come for nothing. You came specifically for something.
To
And that
play.
something has nothing to do with you. It has to do with everybody to play,
Yeah.
to
But
obligation.
yeah, the
Okay, fine.
paradox, sorry to say it, but the paradox is um like in the gift he says it's your own individual truth that awakens collectively,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So it's the paradox. We find it the Aries energy, you find it individually and then you just go full steam ahead with whatever your truth is and you allow
Yeah.
that to it'll just happen. Yeah.
Yeah. And you trust it, though you don't know what is going to happen. So here's a good example. I am going to do this series of workshops here in LA. And as the more I contemplate and I feel into the space, the more intentional it becomes. Everything I am adding to it is intentional and it has nothing to do with me. And I'm realizing this as a new thing. It's not like I'm going to go out there and educate and teach you and facilitate. Sure, that also stays in. But what matters more is for me to make sure they drink good water, have enough silence, have space to express, have a good headset, have a clear color, have
Set
less
and setting.
noise. The
Yeah.
colors of the blankets are earthy. The tea that they're going to drink are beneficial for their body. And I'm like,
Yeah.
holy, and I am not the detailed person. That intent to think about every single thing. And I'm like, I'm going to get them to journal so they can journal the gratitude for the entire year. We're going to set this up on that date. It's number one for the year, and it's like, wow, where is this coming from? I don't know of me as such. I care a lot of these intentional present moment. I want them to be so present so they can feel and carry on without me later on. And it's very selfless. And I'm learning as I might even have one person. That person is my whole world. If that one person comes, and I want the space to be sacred, small group of people that are like to like frequencies. I want to allow energy to come in and guide these people that are meant to come into the space, and no force whatsoever. I'm not even post, and I'm like, where is this event? Right? So where's the QR? How can we sign up? And I'm like, I'm not even posting it yet. And I don't know why. I'm not forcing anything related to it, but it's there. It's already in the field, and it's alluring some sort of presence on a much different level that I have never experienced before, ever, ever, ever. So to me, this is exactly what you said. It will be such a present. People will pay to experience the presence in the space, in the body, in front of someone. And that's going to be so needed, especially here where you have to pay in order to slow down.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to pay to silence yourself
Yeah.
because you don't have silence in the space you're in. Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful to offer that within the city itself. And um, it's almost, you're saying workshops, it's almost like a retreat that's spread out. It's in the city, it's spread out. So people, it's more accessible that way. Yeah.
And it's versatile.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's playing with the different energies. It's not the same unless
Mm-hmm.
there is a one that people will ask for a more, but I'm not expecting a huge turnaround right up front. I actually want to start small. And we're coming back to the shame as well. It's like, it's so healthy to crumble on your knees in being humble at the beginning. I want humble beginnings, even if I have no one in front of it. I'm going to set up everything. The intention is what matters, rather than getting there really fast. And, in the instant gratification and time that we live in, when you expect the delivery within 2 hours and then you complained if it's 4 hours later, I mean, you're taking a month to get delivered something. I mean, back in
Yeah,
the day, we used.
I waited 40 days for this monitor. I paid $300 and I would check the account and they're like, "Oh, slight delay. It's gonna come next week." I'm like, "Okay." And yeah, so it's a miracle to me that you get stuff in 4 hours. I was even talking to my friends in Michigan, like, "You guys get stuff overnight?" I'm like,
Yes.
"Why? Like, what's the point of getting it that fast?" I have this like, I have this
Yeah.
like weird view. I think it's like, the slowness of the island here, where I'm like, I feel like I get the continuous improvement, right? It's like, is there a future where you push the button and then you hear a doorbell?
Hmm.
And what does that look like? And what does that do
It's here.
to our minds and to our bodies?
I think it's heavily influenced by the environment you live in. I simply do not have time to go to the store. I don't
Yeah.
have time to go and buy paper towels. I really don't. I order them
Hmm.
because by the time I end up getting stuck in the traffic, it's going to take me 2 hours to get there. That's a huge amount of time to spend waiting in the traffic in LA. So I order. It's very, very instant for these small little things that will
Hmm.
take so much time to go and do. So, I
So
used to live in, huh?
who delivers it? I'm like, I'm like getting,
Uber, DoorDash, Instacart, Amazon. Amazon is like on fire. A lot of people deliver here. Like and you will order a lot of things on Amazon and I will get multiple deliveries. It's not really combined. It's and then they give you the option if you want to save on gas
yeah.
and do, like environmental or save on boxes, right?
So it's almost like what I'm sensing is convenience itself is prioritizing the structure of civilization. So like your store, you said your store is two hours of traffic away, but they have like a hub where there's products where they can access and get delivered to you
Mm-hmm.
within a reasonable time, and there's going to be more of those than there will be stores until eventually, right? What happens? Like the concept of a grocery store or convenience store is
Yeah,
like that's
they're out.
historical. Yeah, doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, Whole Foods just closed down the street from me. CVS closed behind me. Yeah, but it's open space now, large space. And I was like, oh, this will be such a good warehouse to use for.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy because I, yeah, maybe you and I being on the opposite spectrum is intentional. It's like you, because you're telling me this stuff and I'm shocked. Like I didn't know like this was,
Oh, yeah,
because we go to the
sir.
grocery store almost daily and we have conversations. Like you'll talk to your cashier, just mosey in, mosey out. People go there just to hang out. Yeah, it's wild.
Mm. No, this is a very rapid city, but I think because of that, it pushes a lot. It's like fast forwarding
Yeah.
in many
Hmm.
ways, and also it's very hard. That's why nightlife here terrible. You can't afford
Yeah.
to suffer 2 days later afterwards.
Hmm.
Nightlife here terrible. A lot of people meet to work at the same time. You have to organize a lot of things online. It has its benefits. I don't mind it because you meet on Zoom. And this is
Mm.
the part that I'm like, oh, I met you and you live in Orange County, which is an hour and a half away. Let's meet on Zoom. I was like, no, bitch, meet me in face. Otherwise, I'm
Yeah.
not going to meet you. It's like, but this is where you has to sit with you. I bring my culture with myself, and I am my culture where I come from. And
Mm.
I touch, I hug, I have the presence and I want to offer this and I'm pushing with it because that's who I am. I don't want to change this, but yeah, it's very, very fast. And I want to add one thing too. So I need rice. I eat rice. And to go to
Yeah.
rice, I want to buy specific rice in Korean store. And to go to Korean store, I have to plan a month ahead.
Yeah.
So if I don't have a rice for a month, like for example, now my car is dirty. I haven't washed my car because we have this fog and I was like, well, it has to happen on Saturday.
Yeah.
Simply, it has to happen on Saturday. Otherwise, it doesn't fit my schedule. So it's very, very different vibe. You're either in it or you're gonna you're spit it out. A lot of people cannot maintain this speed. It's very fast. You have to have a lot of energy for it. That means you have to sleep
Yeah.
and have time. That means you also cannot drink and smoke and can't get drugged. And that means you have to be fit. That's why a lot of people are fit here. So you have to
Yeah.
have
To keep up with
stamina.
it. Yeah. Yeah. I think my Taurus moon wouldn't be able to handle it.
I know.
Yeah. It's
But yeah, I love this city. I love it so much. I adore LA. I have never, ever enjoyed energy this much. And I think all this time that I was elsewhere was in preparation to have
Mhm.
the stamina. I was going to the gym yesterday. Sorry, I'm kind of like blah, 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 blah. Going to the
Don't
gym
be sorry.
yesterday. Going to the gym yesterday and in front of the bar at 10 a.m., 10 a.m., three folks stand in front of the bar, which is wide open for drinks. It's a pub, right? And they're smoking. I was like, you're numbing at 10 a.m. You're doing something that it's very unhealthy for you. Like, come to, and I see the judgment, but it's not the judgment rather than it's reflection. I'm not judging them. That's their choice. But I'm reflecting back into, oh my God, I'm like too healthy for this environment. And there is a reason for it. I need for all these ideas and this like massive tree that I have in my mind. By default, I need to have a tree that it's and a healthy roots.
Mm.
So no
Oh
matter
my God,
what,
that's
but
sorry.
no matter what is the environment giving you, you still have a choice. But to choose not to toxicate my temple and to be specifically intentional with my temple where I live, I have to know. See, it comes down to what do we know and how do we
Mm-hmm.
understand it? So imagine my coach is fit. I look up to him. Imagine if I stand in front of people and I'm like high as a kite, right? Speaking of Aubrey Marcus, right? So it's like something is weird. It's like you're giving me the example. If I'm going to give an example, it's going to be a total
Speaking of
awareness.
Marcus.
Didn't you say he showed up like high as weird? But he just came to my mind. But if I'm to speak in front of someone, I want to be a walking my talk. And I want to speak exactly what I truly, truly deeply believe is my truth. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to pay, you're going to hear. And I want to give you good water to drink. Laugh at me. Please laugh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Folks laughed at me when I went to Sedona and I drove every month for 4 hours one way to get the water from the source. They literally laughed at me and they ridiculed me. And I was like,
Oh,
wow,
you collected water for a while from Sedona
entire COVID time, for 3 years, I went every month
and
on
got
the
a
source, directly on the
bunch
source.
of gallons of water.
Yes.
It's lovely. It's beautiful.
It is the best water with silica, natural minerals inside. It
Mm-hmm.
was never contaminated.
And
And
it's
it's
got the how they call it. There's this I think there's this theory about how the water is as it travels through like city pipes and stuff becomes stale. It stops moving. And when it
uh-huh.
comes from a spring or from the mountain, it has natural like movement and energy and it's
Yeah.
oxidized and yeah, all this stuff.
Good. So the water is sold in a uh, um, glass uh, bottle at Whole Foods, and it says Sedona spring water. And you should go and buy it and taste the difference.
I don't have Whole Foods here. But
Oh,
I mean I know yeah. I it wasn't Sedona, but when I was in Nepal, we would drink the water right off of the mountain. It was just
totally
phenomenal.
different.
Yeah.
Rich taste of minerals. Now you have, yeah, so it's different. But yeah, when you know, and nothing breaks it. You just then laugh at other people because there's no need to explain yourself.
Hmm. Remind me to talk to you off camera about retreat stuff. And then
Okay.
yeah, it's interesting like the separation between you're at the gym and you're like honoring your vessel, like you're purifying, creating clarity and using the energy properly. I've had this has been coming up for me so clearly with Carly and I because I'm now like back into her business like 100%. And now it's our business and we're like pushing and we have it feels like this synchronization of like finding the right mentor and getting the like the exact next steps that we needed to actually make this work. And it's coming together. It's beautiful and we're also feeling like it's now more because we're actually doing the stuff that we should have been doing. And then what's been clear to me is this undercurrent of like, okay, you guys want to make this happen. So get the massages, go to the spa, get the babysitter, have someone come and clean, have someone cook the food. Like I've been saying to her, like, it's so important because we're gonna make this work and we want to make this work that we have to have our energy be clear. Number one, because she's coaching people in a very intimate way. She's doing energy healing. She obviously has to be clear. But also too, with me doing sales, it's similar, but it's more frontal. It's like I don't really know you. It's just, but I do have to show up with clear energy. Otherwise, people will be like, "You're
Yeah.
saying all the right things, but something's not vibing, and I can't do it today." Whatever.
Yep.
And it's like it's not about me getting their money. It's like, hey, Carly's phenomenal, and we have a system that can help you, and we want to help you. So just showing up clear in that way and like you painted the picture of like smoking and drinking at 10 a.m. and I thought of cold winters in Michigan, how like
Mm.
common that is, and I think too of Eastern Europe, how like it's just like, okay, you're farming and then it's cold. You're not farming anymore. What do? You go to the pub. You stay warm in the pub. You have conversation, drinks, smoke a little bit. Yeah. It's I was just thinking about how you came from that culture and then now you're like
I often call my mom. I was like, how I have, oh, how did I turn out like this? And I will tell you why. So, I'll find out later. But now, by 40, I think I can kind of put the puzzles together on why did it end up being this way. And everybody smokes, everybody drinks. You start from 12 on.
yeah.
You go into the restaurant. There's a little mini. I told you about this. It's hilarious. You go to a restaurant, everybody smokes.
Hmm.
And if you're the only non-smoker, all the smoke goes towards you.
Yeah, right.
That was me. And I would do my work literally to defend myself from the ignorance of the smokers. And they don't care. The biggest ignorance. And also the people that smoke cigars. Oh my God, I literally vomit everything outside when I inhale the sense of it. Because it's like, and it takes over. It takes over so fast. It takes the entire, and
Hmm.
it stays there. So when we would do a business work related dinners, usually at the high level, people would just pull the
Yeah.
cigar and we would non-cigars on one table, cigars on the, it's like, are you serious? And then it
Yeah.
says literally clearly in the restaurant, no smoking allowed. And yet a bunch of other people sit in the restaurant and these three ignorant will take a cigar just so that way they can claim their status and
Hmm.
kill everybody's vibe. Birthdays, Valentine's, the loverships. It's like, what? But I don't know why. I only can find the reason why I turn out like this. And I call it an invisible hand or a kiss by an angel,
Hmm.
where plucked and placed in the different environment to be differently, almost different, not influenced to by the environment. So to this day I don't understand. I can't understand why I'm not attracted to such addictive tendencies, and I have more of Pisces in me and more the precursors and the entire childhood and a big chunk of my life actually predetermined requisite that was already completed for me to be different than what I am right now.
Hmm.
And I don't know how. I can't explain it other than just invisible hand coming in and putting me and plucking me in places where I needed to be in order to grow up. So now I'm here sitting in the city and I'm like, okay, I have a lot of people coming in and say, I need to get out of here. I'm gonna go home. And often people come try it and then they go home. And I was like, oh my God, I just came. Like I have a sense of home in the right place, right time doing this in LA. And I'm like, LA is my home. I'm supposed to be here. I feel it in my bones. Just this way. What
Hmm.
that turns out to be, I'll find out later. But the fact of the matter is that I'm so different. I find myself being a unicorn in the place because I don't meet people like me very often here.
Hmm. Yeah, and I think it goes back to style and authenticity and a sense of the sense of exploring who you are. Um, I thought of this. I think it's a movie where this guy who's like a bigwig, he's like a cigar smoker, and he's successful and older gentleman, and at some point he's got like this breakdown, this emotional crisis,
Mm.
and he like takes a cigar and he's like, I don't even like this shit. I think he's like takes off cufflinks. He's like, I don't even like this. I don't even like my car. And he's just like finally just admitting the truth, like he's just playing a role. And uh I think that's what it takes is for us to admit like where are we playing the role in our lives? Like where are we not being authentic? What what emotions are we repressing or what aspects of our psyche have we denied? as being true, or shamed or guilted into, yeah, pushing it somewhere else instead of honoring it and seeing what's there. Our deepest fears come
Mm.
out in the 51st gift, and you'll
And it
face it.
comes as a shock.
Yeah.
A truth comes as a shock.
Mm-hmm.
So as awakening too.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how he just crossed out all these paths that are certain to work.
Right.
I was like, yeah, you say it. This. Yes, baby. That was my note. There are no signs. Awakening has happened to nice people and to nasty people. Nor are there paths, despite what even awakened beings have said or laid down for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's interesting too because in the 22nd it details the bodies, the astral body, the physical body, the causal body. And it's like that, if you sit with the 51st, like what's the point of memorizing the structure and figuring out the path and how to awaken the next level and how to it's like all of it is you're asleep, or asleep basically. And just admitting it is like very freeing, not to be a victim and say I'm asleep, therefore I'm a victim. I'm asleep, therefore let me be free, because it doesn't matter what I do anyway.
Mm. Oh my God. You I'm sorry. He ate my freaking
He's
I'm
feeling
so
the
sorry.
agitation. He's like,
Oh my
oh,
God.
gotta
He's
do
eating my
something.
stuff.
Too bad it's not real plants.
Ornament.
It's plastic.
I know. Look at this. It's like,
So I
what are
just
you
had to
chewing, dude? Sorry. Stop it.
I had to pull up the programming partner, the 57th, because he didn't
Mm-hmm.
really mention it, and I just wanted to see. It's the shadow of unease, the gift of intuition, and the city of clarity.
Mm,
And then as I was looking, there's a Rumi poem at the end of 56, and I'm just gonna read it.
please.
As it draws you to itself, what pleasure your suffering becomes. Its fires are like water. Do not tense your face. To be present in the soul is its work, and to break your vows. By its complex art, these atoms are trembling in their hearts. Wow. Oh, Rumi.
Different energy. It almost leaves you to cry.
Yeah, I teared up just reading it. 56. Well,
Mm.
we can call this one Exploration of Los Angeles. It's like a very common theme here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of passion for sure to explore. But let's see. Ooh, okay. Few more minutes. I want to know, what did you think about this random awakening, and
Mm.
how did you feel? Specifically, how did you feel? Did you recollect, how a lot of people worship a lot of gurus and in spiritual community, which is very prominent where you are? And how do you find this freeing from someone's path, accessible to people? So what did you think about this, like awakening being a differently
Yeah.
defined?
Hmm. Yeah, I immediately thought of a couple of weeks ago we were at the lawn, which is like a gathering in the evening. And my friend who's Aquarius was like, "Did you guys see Sadhu over there? Like the guy in the orange robes from India?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." And then she just keeps talking, and she's like, "Oh my, apparently he's all this and all this." And when I was reading this, I was just thinking back to it, and I'm like, um, kind of like judging my reactions because I was kind of just like nonchalant, like, okay, whatever. And the thought was just like, it doesn't really matter to my path to like go and seek him or like want to be around him or to deny and reject. Like it doesn't really matter um if Baba, spoke to Ram Dass and really got something out of his heart, then that was for him. Whereas with someone else that meets him in the airport, feels nothing, that was
Mm,
also for him. Like it's just kind of like this release. Like it doesn't almost nihilistic. Like it doesn't really matter.
mm,
Therefore, almost the flavor of therefore do not try, but it was more of like therefore let it be play, let it be easeful, let me relax, let me relax. Like I'm holding tension. And I think people on a spiritual path or that have a guru or that are pushing, for the most part, they are holding some tension and their being haven't learned to let go of that tension or have learned to actually hold that tension. Yeah. But either way, for them,
mm,
awakening can occur spontaneously. It doesn't matter. We just want to I think the human psyche needs to attribute it to something. So we recursively look back at someone's life and then say it was because they were born here and then they did this and they met this person, therefore. But it's like none of it is relevant to awakening.
mm, mm. I like when you said, I relaxed, I softened.
Mm-hmm.
I think, my coach said one thing, which was so cool. She goes, I'm not responsible for my first thought, but the moment I become aware is
Right.
is the moment I become responsible. And coincidentally, Pluto was discovered around the time when the notion of subconscious and unconscious mind came to our awareness. So
Mm.
Neptune was discovered first, and then Pluto was discovered, which was further away. And after Pluto, there's nothing. We don't know what's after. But the subconscious came to our awareness that there's more.
Mm-hmm.
And that awareness removed, or slowly still removing, the middleman between me and the higher power.
Yeah.
So that middleman, we're actually like still trying to figure out, is this actually who stands in between me and the higher power or creator or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
And it's very interesting to me to see this dynamic of, ooh, it used to be this one truth only, all the way up to the discovery of subconscious mind, where Carl Jung and all these psychologists deviating and changing the way that we actually understand the collective and in general. So, you know, I can see where that can still be, oh, but you can't see, I see that separateness. But rather than, I really like how you said, like, even if I see the difference, I'm not going to react to it though, because I'm aware now of what it is. I'm going to soften to it and allow everybody to find their own path. Really
Mm.
beautiful. And I like that
Yeah.
because it does soften immediately when you come in to surrender to it and just let it be. It's like you actually want to control nothing. You want no control over it.
Mm.
You let it.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's
Mhm.
subtle layers beneath and above that are like subtle layers of desire. So it's even though I've released control and I'm like, whatever, everyone has their own path. There is, of course, this desire of like, wouldn't
Yeah.
it be nice if the guru came and looked me in the eyes and said, "Hey, you?" It's like you have that desire. Like most
Mm.
people will have that desire. And then there's like desires above of, well, wouldn't it be great if I did something different to break myself? Like, we have this complexity that doesn't go away even though we've released control. And that's
Mm.
that's like a paradox, right? It's like the more we release, the more it feels complex, and the more we
Mm.
feel like it's almost like the mind reaches out to the edges. It's like, okay, now that we're at the edges, can we grab onto something out here because it's getting disorienting? And maybe we grab on for a time and then we learn to let go, and then the edges expand, we grab on again. And of course, there's like undulation in and out, up and down. Yeah.
Yeah. It's lovely to be human.
Lovely's
Yeah.
a word.
Lovely. I'm fond of it.
Yeah.
And we fighting, and then you pull out and you're like mythologizing everything. You're like, who are the gods that created us this limited? And this like, what is this force that sits upon us that we cannot break free through? Anyway, that's for a different discussion. So get ready. Awakening is happening as we speak. So whoa.
Love it. Thank
Okay.
you.
Ready? I'm gonna stop and then we'll check in. You said you wanted to
Okay.
talk about something. Okay, cool.
Mhm.